Again, let me introduce myself. My name is Dakisha Williams of Visions Consulting, and I'm a business strategist. I help entrepreneurs to eliminate the frustration out of creating a profitable business plan so that they can magnetize their marketing message and position themselves to obtain funding so that they can elevate and expand their brand. Now, I come from a retail management background. We all know retail and the extensive hours that are demanded of you in the retail industry. So with operation management experience, I had the opportunity to travel all across the country to several different states. I managed 13 locations over 5-6 states with 66 plus employees at any given time. Truly love the leadership and development. Truly love training and investing in my team so that our team can excel. And with that experience, I knew that one day I wanted to start my own business. And it came from working one day, and I'll leave the name of the particular store that I was working for at that time. But I was a department manager, and I was going through our inventory, and there was a pair of jeans that typically retail for about $29, maybe $24.99 on sale. But as I unpacked the box, the ticket price said $4.99. So that means they purchased that particular item for $4.99. From that moment, I said I'd never pay full price again. So hint, diva, wait till it goes on sale. But truthfully, in my mind, it said, how can I create a business and make money off of the markup that we place on our items when we have products and services that we sell? So with that being said, I created a brand called SassyShoeGallery.com. And it was an online shoe boutique helping to increase the self-esteem of women through the purchase of shoes. Because you know, when you put your heels on, your 5-inch heels, you just feel differently. So with that being said, I can tell you that I was able to write my own business plan. Now, I started writing it with a tool called Business Plan Pro. I think that's what it's called. But it's funny, it has all the cute graphs, and it's like 150 pages. And yeah, when I took that to a bank and submitted that, they told me to go home. So I went back and did some research and studied what really needed to be in a business plan. And lo and behold, I think the business plan, by the time I finished the research and finished editing my 150 pages, it actually ended up being less than 20 pages, not including the financial documents. So I submitted not once, not twice, but 3 times, Charm, and actually received funding for $31,500. And you too can actually obtain funding, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, I want to talk about, it's 4 things that will probably stop you from actually writing that plan. And those 4 things can keep you stuck in your business and stuck in life. And the first thing that I want to talk about is fear. Now, fear is nothing but a blessing blocker. Fear is doubt. It's what we tell ourselves. It's the negative thoughts that we could continuously to put into our minds. And once you eliminate the negativity and you tell yourself you can rather than what it is that you can't, you'd be surprised at the things that you can actually take on and achieve when you recondition your mind. So I like to tell you, and you can write this down, I like to use the hashtag write it down. So hashtag write it down, and I want you to jot this down in your note. You are far too smart to be the only thing standing in your way. So I ask you, are you bold? I want you to be bold with me. And I want you to commit to being bold and doing one thing within the next 30 days that you are afraid of doing. And I know this is the Diva virtual conference, so write it out there in the elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Hashtag be bold. and tell us what it is that you're going to be bold to do. If you don't want to share, you can also say, I commit to being bold in the next 30 days. Okay? So the second thing is time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. However, it's how you manage that time that's going to get you to the next level. So I know as entrepreneurs, we have a laundry list of things that we need to do in a day's time frame. And we talk about it ever so often, all of the tasks that entrepreneurs have to take on a daily basis. So what I want you to focus on are 3 to 5 main things that are going to bring money into your business. So you can write that down. Focus on 3 to 5 main action items, you'll hear me say that a lot, that are going to bring money into your business. Some people call it profit producing activities. Some people call it money making strategies. So that's what I want you to think about. When you sit down for that day or the night before, you think about what needs to happen in your business. Think about what's going to generate money for your business. And so don't look at it as, oh my gosh, I got all of these things to do. No, let's look at the list, take the most important things, and say, all right, what's going to generate income? And we move on from there. And the next thing is funding. I just shared with you how I was able to obtain funding, but everyone is not in a position where they have $31,000 to kick off and expand a business. So it takes time, it takes money to build a business. So, and you have to be willing to invest in your business and invest in yourself in order to make that business successful. Like I said, be willing to invest in yourself and invest in continued learning. Now, the last obstacle is resources. Now, what that means is having the tools available in your business so that you can work smarter and not harder. So having the right tools in your business, for an example, having email autoresponders set up. If you don't have these things, are you really going to sit there and email every single person that submits an inquiry into your business? Or having billing merchant accounts and a billing system set up. How frustrating is it to have to go to PayPal and enter in every time someone wants to transfer a credit card payment or a payment into your business? I have it set up where once you obtain a product or once you go online and commit to a program, type your credit card information in and it goes through the process. I don't have to do anything else until it declines. And hopefully we don't have those problems. So the next thing might be graphics. You need to have, resources where when you want to put on an event or you are looking to update your branding messaging through methods of graphics. So don't let the lack of resources hinder your business and hinder your growth. I know sometimes we want to cut costs and do things ourselves, but remember, perception is the new validation. So what individuals perceive of your brand is what's going to validate your brand. So make sure that you are not positioning yourself where resources are holding you back. So now that we've discussed what's holding you back, fear, time, resources, funding, let's talk about what's going to set you up to elevate your business. So I'm going to show you how to create a profitable business plan. Now, you've heard me teach four key elements of a profitable business plan. So the first part, and I want you to write this down, is the concept. Now, when we're thinking about the concept, we want to know what type of products and services are you going to provide, either or, and why is it different from the next competitor? What makes your concept better than the next? And I mean, it could be a pair of socks. But what's going to make that pair of socks better than Fruit of the Loom or Nike socks that they have available? I mean, do you have some type of thermal inside the the threads or the fabrics for football players. I really want you to think outside the box and see what sets yourself apart. And I'm just giving you an example with the socks, but think about it for coaches. Think about it for virtual assistants. We have a lot of event planners. What makes your event planning business set you apart from other event planning businesses across the world? So think about that. Number one, concept. Who you are, what you do, and what makes you better. Who you are, what you do, and what makes you better. So number two, it's my favorite part, are the strategies. They are incorporating the marketing and the sales. And we know that marketing is what creates the desire for your product. Marketing is the message that makes people want what you are selling. So think about some of the items, and you can write down 3 things right now if you're doing this exercise while we're training, while you're watching the video. So think about 3 things that you could do in order to market your business. And it's not just running Facebook ads. Now, that's a method and can be an effective method, but I really want you to think of some things, again, that are outside the box that are going to get your product noticed. So jot down 3 things that are marketing strategies that you're thinking about doing or implementing in your business. And then the second portion of that is what we consider to be the sales process. So you've set goals. You should have set goals, and we'll talk about that in a second. But you've set goals, so now what are you going to do to achieve those goals? Right? So you should have a plan in place on how you are going to achieve the goals that you set for in your business. Because no matter what it is that you do, whether you are an event planner, whether you are a coach, you are selling something. Whether you sell your services or an actual tangible product like shoes. So, and you have to think about from the first time you meet an individual, whether they qualify as a lead prospect, and if they do, how are you going to get them to the close? How are you going to get them to the point of asking for their money, asking for the sale? There's a process that goes with that. So you have to be sure that you've written down specifically each element to the sales process. And that's number 2, strategies. So number 3 are your financials. So when you think about the financials, think about how much money you need to make in your business to not only be profitable, because a business can be profitable as long as your revenue outweighs your expenses, right? But you want your business to be able to sustain you or your bills at home or replace that job that you're working. So you have to think about when you set your goals, you want to make sure that you set your goals at a point in which they're going to sustain your household goals and give yourself some cushion. So we always set yearly goals. You hear us all the time. We set a yearly goal. Whether or not you want to make $100,000 this year, whether or not you want to make $50,000 this year. But I'll give you a little secret while we're on this topic. It's easier when you take that larger goal, that $100,000, and break it down into smaller goals. So now you have to think about what is it that you want to do, what are your goals that you want to achieve every single month. And for me, I take it down, I drill down. I've always been taught to drill down. So even though I have a monthly goal, okay, Dakisha, what do you need to do every single week? Okay, well, what do you need to do every single day? How much money do you need to generate in your business every single day in order to hit your monthly goals? Now, again, I tell you, I come from a retail background, so every day we walked into the store, we're pulling reports. We're analyzing what we did yesterday, what we need to make up today so that we can make our goals from yesterday plus today. So that's the mentality that I have, and that's the mentality that I want to instill in you. And with the goals that you set for yourself, you also have projections. When you're writing a business plan, you have to set projections because sometimes the business is brand new. For entrepreneurs that are seasoned, and I've had clients that have been in business for 14 years, you know, you can your projections can be based off of the years before. But new businesses, you have to gauge what you think you will do in your business and set your goals accordingly. So one thing I do want to explain to you before we move on to the last item is that business plan and strategic plan. You hear the words interchangeable. So most likely you're going to hear the word business plan when someone is looking to submit their loan to a bank for funding. However, a business plan is a business plan is a business plan. So when an entrepreneur comes to me and says that, hey, I'm not really looking for, funding. Do you really think I need a business plan? Yes. So what we do is we call that a strategic plan. All right, what strategies are you going to put in place in order to achieve these goals that we're talking about? So you may oftentimes hear me say that interchangeably, business plan, strategic plan. At the end of the day, you need a plan. And the strategic plan is for the entrepreneurs who are just sitting down looking at what they're trying to achieve, big picture, and creating the smaller segments and working from that plan. So business plan, funding, strategic plan, entrepreneur on a mission who are looking to achieve goals. So last item to a profitable business plan is action. And this is my favorite part because sometimes when I'm working with clients and they're talking about, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to post on Facebook that I'm having an event and I'm going to tweet, those are action items. And yes, they are. Okay, we are bringing it on into a close and we're going to round it out with step number 4. And that's taking action. And in this element and in this portion of your plan, what I really want to know is what are you going to do? What steps are you going to take to reach your goals? To implement the strategies that you set in steps 2 and your financial goals in step 3. So let's talk about, for an example, if you have the goal to host a teleseminar or a webinar. In this particular section, what you're going to do is you're going to list out what you need to get it done and what you need to do to get it done. So do you need to obtain a domain? Do you need to obtain a conferencing line? I use freeconferencing.com. I think there's another one. However, do you need a splash page, a sign up page, a registration page? Do you need a thank you page? Are you going to use the default for your CRM that you have? And that's a customer relations management system. So some might use Infusionsoft, some might use One Shopping Cart, some still use MailChimp and Constant Contact. Are you going to use the default thank you page when someone registers for your upcoming event? Some people still use Eventbrite. Now, what you need to write down is you need to obtain or register for Eventbrite. You need to register for MailChimp because you need to have a system in place that's going to capture the names of the participants who are coming and interested in your call. So that's exactly what I mean when I say take action. For those of you that are hosting a physical event, you need to call to register or hold the date that you want to have the event. You need to make the deposit. So it's a list of things that need to take place in order to make a successful event, if that's going to be one of the strategies that you set place for the third quarter, the end of the third quarter, or the upcoming fourth quarter. So be very specific in part 4 where you're setting your action items. And it really needs to list out so that it's self-explanatory. Remember, I told you, do 3 to 5 things that's going to generate funds. So when you get up in the morning and you look at your strategic plan and you say, okay, what is it that I need to do today? It's right there. Oh, I need to call Hotel XYZ, or I need to call location XYZ and reserve the date that I want for my event. Boom, now it's done. You don't really have to think about it. So, and that's the goal. The goal is so you can work smart and not hard. So you want it to be very specific when you list out your action items. And remember, a vision without a plan is merely just a dream. And I want to share with you a story of a client that I helped that was struggling to convert the clients that she was or prospects, I would actually call them, because she called and she said, Dekeisha, I've got a lot of Instagram followers. I've got a lot of people liking items on Facebook, but it's not generating any sales. And I mean, it's great, to post out a picture or post products or post an event and everyone joins and everyone likes, but then no one shows up. But then no one buys. So Eric and I we did several strategy sessions over a period of 45 days. And what we did is we looked at the situation, we looked at the problem that she had, and we created simple steps to getting them in the door and converting them into a cash transaction, into a credit card transaction, and showing her how she could add value once she was able to get them in the door. So when she implemented those actionable items, what she was able to do was increase her sales by 40% in the month of December. So it's all about having a plan and working the plan that you set for yourself. And I'll share with you, I love to share with the story about Robert. Robert actually has a kitchen and bath renovation company, been in business 14 years, makes well over 6 figures. And it's not to say that you cannot be successful in business, but you can elevate what you're already doing when you have a plan in place. And I love Robert, but he had literally 11 notebooks, Franklin Covey size notebooks, full of customers' information. Like I said, he's been in business for 14 years. And it had all the specifications. It had name, email, address, telephone number. Some maybe even had birthdays. But it was all in a notebook. What good is that doing us to automate our communications with our client? So what we did was we took at least 8 of those notebooks and we combined all of this information, uploaded it into a CRM, and what we did was we actually made contact. This is the first time in 14 years that he actually generated some type of communication back out to previous clients. Once we did that, he actually received 5 contacts. 3 were contractors that had been looking for him for a very long time, and they had jobs for him to do. 2 were actually previous clients. They were looking for him. They had some referrals for him. And lo and behold, he was able to generate $50,000 in the month of December. And if you know anything about construction, December is usually the slowest month of the year. So again, already a 6-figure business, but keep implementing those strategies and plans in your business and you can only elevate, what you're already doing. So with that being said, some of you, as you listen to this training, you say, look, I got it. I know what I need. I need to write out a plan. I'm not necessarily looking for funding. I just need something that I can operate in my business on a day-to-day basis. Dekeisha said I need to have the concept, what it is that I want to do, who I'm going to market to, and what makes me better. And number 2, she says, I need to have a marketing plan in place. I need to know exactly what I'm going to do to create the desire for my product. And then she said, number 3, I need to know exactly how I'm going to get my clients and prospects through my sales funnel, through my sales system. And I got that. And then Dekeisha says, okay, I need to write specific items, actionable items that I'm going to do every single day. All right, I got it. Thank you, Dekeisha. And good luck to you. Now, some of you are looking at it like, okay, I can see the anxiety. I can feel the anxiety about sitting down and actually writing and putting this in place. Now, so for those of you all that actually came in to listen to the training today, and this is for everybody actually, I have a special gift for you, and I want you to text BizPlan, BIZPLAN. I have to make sure I get the number right. I want you to text that to 804-298-2876. And what that's going to get you, you will get the outline of today's call, everything that I just summarized for you. I'm going to send it to you in an outline. I know you took notes, so congratulations. But I'm also going to send it to you as a guide for those of you who got it. and it's going to write their strategic plan on your own. Now, when you text that number, you'll also get the option to have a free 15 to 20 minute consultation with myself so we can talk about the next steps on how we're going to eliminate the frustration of writing out your business plan or strategic plan so that you can be successful for not only the remaining of the third quarter, but the fourth quarter on into 2015. Can you believe it's almost 2015? So this has been Dakisha Williams of Visions Consulting. I so gratefully thank you for tuning in to my training today, and I look forward to helping you eliminate the frustration out of creating not only 2014's fourth quarter strategic plan, but also 2015's business and strategic plan so that you can elevate your business not only this year, but years in the future. Thank you again.